"Gather round, young 'uns. The storm is rattling the windows, the fire is crackling, and old GrandPappy's got another tale for you. This here story is called The Lantern That Never Went Out." A long time ago, in a town nestled deep in the valley of Misty Hollow, there was a legend about an old lantern that never stopped burning. Folks called it the Everlight. It sat atop the tallest hill in town, inside the crumbling remains of an ancient watchtower, and no matter how fierce the winds blew, how heavy the rain poured, or how thick the snow fell, it never went out. Now, most folks just figured it was some trick of the wind or an old oil well underneath keeping it fueled, but some whispered of something otherworldly. They said the lantern was a promise, a guardian's watchful eye, never sleeping and never resting. One cold autumn night, when the air was thick with mist and the valley was swallowed in darkness, a young boy named Caleb Foster decided he would be the one to solve the mystery. He had heard the tales from his granddaddy, just as I'm telling you now, and his curiosity got the best of him. Caleb wasn't scared of much, but as he made his way up Lantern Hill, he felt something off. The air was still, too still. The usual sounds of crickets and rustling leaves were gone, replaced by an eerie hush. The lantern, glowing dimly in the mist, seemed to call to him. Step by step, he climbed the crumbled stone steps of the old tower. His breath was heavy, his hands trembling as he reached the top. And there it was, the Everlight, burning just as it had for as long as anyone could remember. He stepped closer, raising a hand to touch it, but the moment his fingers brushed the old iron frame, a voice echoed through the night. "Who dares disturb the watcher's flame?" Caleb spun around, his heart hammering. A figure stood in the shadows, tall, cloaked, with eyes that glowed like embers. It was neither man nor beast, but something in between. The figure stepped into the dim glow of the Everlight, revealing an old, weathered face. Skin like aged leather, eyes ancient as time itself. "You come seeking answers," the figure said, his voice like the wind through dead leaves. "But some flames burn not for mortals to understand." Caleb swallowed his fear. "I just wanted to know why it never goes out." The old man chuckled, a sound like a distant thunder roll. "Because it is not fire that fuels this lantern, boy, but duty. This flame burns with the promise of those who came before, the watchmen who swore to protect this valley, even in death." Caleb's breath hitched. "You mean it's a ghost's lantern? A guardian's light?" The old man corrected. "So long as it burns, the valley is safe. But if it were to ever go out..." The wind howled through the tower, and the lantern flickered, just for a second. The old man's gaze sharpened. "Best not to find out." Caleb didn't need telling twice. He turned on his heel and ran down the hill, not stopping till he was back home, tucked under his quilt, staring at his ceiling. But from that night on, he understood. Some mysteries ain't meant to be solved. Some things exist to protect, and all we can do is let them be. From that day forward, Caleb never questioned the Everlight again. And to this day, if you ever visit Misty Hollow and look up at that old watchtower, you'll still see that lantern glowing through the night, burning with the promise of the past.